YouTube, Rook here from Rook Geek Goodness, my little channel web for all things geeky and cool, and welcome back to the channel, guys. Welcome back to another video review. I talked briefly about this particular item on a recent stream and in my Savvy Workshop video review, kind of real brief overview of what this is all about. Of course, we're talking about the Jedi Holocrons, where you can purchase them from Disney Hollywood Studios in an area inside Galaxy's Edge called Doc Andor's Antiquities. Really cool place to go to, filled with Star Wars merch. The real high-end seller, of course, is the Legacy lightsabers, which usually have a waiting list of about 2 hours to get your saber. But they sell specifically the Jedi Holocron, which is this one. And I put a picture up so you can see what the Sith Holocron looks like. Different look, different feels, different lights and sounds, the way it would look when you put the actual Kyber crystals into them. But this is a really cool piece of technology, a really nice collectible. And it's really different how they put this thing together, how they engineered it to work with these Kyber crystals. Now, if you see them in front of me here, they come in these tubes. You would see, like, here's an example of the green one. Of course, this would be inside this tube. It's using what they call RFID technology, meaning there's a transmitter inside this thing that picks up the RFID tags from these pieces of plastic. So it will know specifically whose lights and sounds come from this particular Kyber crystal. And there's different colors that do different lights and sounds. And then you could have multiple green color crystals like this one here that you may get, let's say, Qui-Gon Jinn's lights and sounds, and you might get Yoda's lights and sounds. Same thing with the blue one. You can get an Obi-Wan or you can get a Luke Skywalker. What the Holocron will do, it will do different sound effects based on what chip is in these particular crystals. So it's really cool technology that they're using for both the Savvy Workshop lightsabers and the Doc Andor's Antiquities Jedi Holocrons. Now, you might be asking yourself, well, Rook, how much are these things here? Well, the Kyber crystals you see in front of me here in these little tubes have a price point of about $20 US. If you count up everything, taxes and things like that, it's about 19 bucks, give or take, rounded up to 20 bucks per Kyber crystal. And they come in multiple colors. You can see in front here, blue, purple, gold, green. They have silver or white. They have red, just to name all the colors they have. And of course, a specific rare one, which comes inside the red Kyber crystal tube, and it's a black Kyber crystal. It doesn't make the blade for Savvy's Workshop lightsabers turn black, but when you put it inside the Holocron, you get Snoke's voice instead of, let's say, Palpatine's or Maul's or Vader's or Kylo Ren's. I think you can get 3 or 4 different red Kyber crystals, and they have different sound effects for each one of those people. So it's very neat how they engineered this stuff. So one of the really neat shopping experiences inside Doc Andor's Antiquity is that you pull your own Holocron off the shelf. They don't hand you something wrapped in a box. They don't hand you something from the back room. You literally pull this one, the Holocron that you want, off their wall. You take it with you and you go to pay it at the register. Different way of shopping, different shopping experience. I thought it was completely different, very cool and really neat sort of way you can purchase these items at Doc Andor's Antiquities. The price point for this item is unfortunately $50 US. Here's what the price point looks like on the back. That's the same for both the Jedi version and the Sith version. Now, there is some interesting functionality working with the Sith Holocron and the Jedi Holocron. When you put the Sith one literally on top of the Jedi one, they will communicate back and forth. From what I've seen and what I've heard, I can't tell you how it really works per se. I'm assuming the transmitter inside this one will communicate to the Sith one, and it will communicate back down again when you're in tandem, when you're sitting on top of one another, because the range has to be extremely close for them to communicate. You can't just have it sitting like off to the side. It literally has to be touching it from what it looks like in the pictures. And I'll showcase a little diagram so you can see kind of what it would look like in this little picture. They even talk about it here so you can see what it looks like. So they talk about it right there. So it's a neat little piece of kit, neat little functionality that you can do with this. This, if you're asking how do you charge it, there is a port on the bottom. It works with a standard micro USB cable. You just plug it into it. It does come with a micro USB cable inside this bag. They hand you this bag that says Black Spire Outpost, which is the outpost that you go to for Galaxy's Edge. That's where all the stuff is. They call it the Black Spire Outpost. That's the name of it. Again, the charging cable, they come with it. It's a standard micro USB. You just plug it in and you're good to go. I have not yet had the need to charge this. It doesn't use a lot of power from what I see. So enough of me rambling. Let's really get into this Holocron and really play with it. So how do you access it? How do you get all the functionality? How do you get your hands dirty with it? Well, first things first, this is how it normally would sit when it's off, when it's doing nothing. There is a message on this by default when you have no Kyber crystal loaded to it. I'm going to show the tray so you can access it. This would be considered the top of the Holocron right here. This would be, of course, where the charging port is at, would be at the bottom. To access it, you just literally slide open the top here. It slides open to a little hole right here. A little tray slides out. That's where you put your Kyber crystals. But by default, there's no Kyber crystals sold with this piece of kit, with this Holocron. You have to purchase them, as you see here, separately. So let's activate the Holocron, turn it on so you can see what happens. To activate them, there's these little corners here. You can see it across the cube on the top and on the bottom. So if we're going to activate it, you just literally turn the cube like that. You can hear it. I'm going to cut my lights a little bit now. Dim my lights. So you get a better look of what it would look like when you do this. So it turned this light blue color and with the gold trim into a glowing blue. This is, again, the default version of the Holocron. There's nothing different. You hear all the cool lights and sound function. Now you may notice here this darker blue point on these 2 points here, over both here and here. That's how you activate the Holocron. So I'm going to activate it now, and you'll hear Obi-Wan Kenobi's voice.
This is Master Obi-Wan Kenobi. I regret to report that both our Jedi Order and the Republic have fallen, with the dark shadow of the Empire rising to take their place. This message is a warning and a reminder for any surviving Jedi. Trust in the Force. Do not return to the temple. That time has passed, and our future is uncertain.
Do it again. See if there's any more. Hold it again.
We will each be challenged. Our trust, our faith, our friendships. But we must persevere, and in time, a new hope will emerge. May the Force be with you, always.
So now I'm going to turn it off. So you just, again, swivel this, and put it back into the cube shape. And I'll turn my lights back on here. Apologies for the glare. There we go. And now we're back to where we started from. Very, very neat way of doing this. I like that they give you at least something when you don't purchase the Kyber crystals, so you get some value out of this. There's multiple messages. I think there's maybe a few more you can access with this. Now let's put in a different Kyber crystal. Let's open it up here and put something in. So there is one little tricky thing I noticed about this in doing the lightsaber video, is that you have to give it a second for it to pick up the difference in the Kyber crystal being picked up, meaning picking up the change from going from the default state to a Kyber crystal state where it would know there's a chip inside of it. Let's go with blue, since that's one of the main colors. We'll pick the blue one in first. I have 4 here. Again, there's more you can purchase. So I'm going to load the blue one in here. I'm going to kill the lights again. Let's turn those off. Lights are off. So we're just looking at it now, a little darker area. And now let's turn this on again using the blue crystal. So it looks very similar to the blue we saw before. No difference here. Very similar. And now we'll see if we can get the blue crystal to talk.
Now that they're extinct, the Jedi are romanticized, deified. If you strip away the myth and look at their deeds, the legacy of the Jedi is failure, hypocrisy, hubris.
Of course, we have Mark Hamill, Luke Skywalker. Let's do another one.
Balance. Powerful light, powerful darkness.
So the enigmatic, of course, Luke Skywalker. Mark Hamill gives us some more lights and sound functionality. Let's turn the lights back on again. Here and here. And let's take out the blue and put in a different one. That's the fun of this. You can hear who's different, when you put different crystals in. Let's load our green now. Now the green one is in place. We'll turn these off. We'll give it a second to load up. There we go. We should be good. Because I was doing this with the lightsaber review, and it was going so fast between crystal changing, it was not registering the RFID tag. So let's do it again. And now it's going to turn green. Now it's completely different look and feel from the blue one to this green one. So the complete color of the cube has changed. I love how they did that. It's very, very neat. Now let's see who we got on this one. Same thoughts?
Fear is the path to the dark side.
We get Yoda.
Fear leads to anger. Anger leads to hate. Hate leads to suffering. I sense much fear in you.
Master Yoda, of course.
Train yourself to let go of everything you fear to lose.
And one more from Yoda.
A Jedi uses the Force for knowledge and defense. Never attack.
I guess the deactivation sound. Very, very cool. Absolutely love that. I definitely dig what they did with these with the Kyber crystals and the Holocron. It's awesome what they did with this tech. Now let's take out the green one. Again, just open up the little tray on the side right there, of course. And let's load in purple. Of course, we know purple is Mace Windu. It should be good to go. Let's turn off, again, the lights here. And let's turn this on and see what we get. Again, this is a light teal blue color with a gold trim. Let's activate the cube. And now it has a sort of purpley color. It may not come across well on camera, but there is a purple glow. Specifically right here, you can see it hopefully come across. It is purple in color, but it's not great on camera right now. Let's see who we get. Right there.
The Force always has a plan, but it doesn't always reveal that plan on a Jedi schedule.
Doesn't really sound like Samuel L. Jackson.
In negotiating, silence can work better than a speech, but silence is more effective when it comes with a stern look and a lightsaber.
And one more.
An unlit lightsaber shows the time for negotiations has arrived. A lit lightsaber shows the time for negotiations has passed. Be mindful of the difference.
Wise words. Wise words from Mace Windu. And again, we come back with the lights. Right there. Again, very, very cool. Definitely like it. Not the greatest. I wish I would have had Samuel Jackson's voice, but probably because of licensing rights to get his voice, it wouldn't happen. Of course, the last Kyber crystal I own is this gold one here. Last time we saw Star Wars Rebels, they had the lightsabers that had gold blades. The Jedi guards from the High Temple were using gold sabers. I tried messing with this off camera, and the weird thing is it gave the color of the cube a green color, much like this green one right here, which was very, very odd. I'm not sure why it was doing that. I can't tell you the reason, so I'm going to move the green one over a little bit to see if maybe it's an issue with the communication range. But I'm going to put the gold one into the cube and see what we get here. Hopefully it will detect it properly. I want this to turn a gold color, not a green color. So I don't know if that was just a issue with this being close to it and picking up the wrong color. I'm not sure. So let's turn it on and see what we get. I'm going to kill my lights again, as I've been doing throughout the entire video. Let's see what we get when we turn it on. Now we get green, so I guess this is how it would look. I thought it was wrong. I wasn't 100% sure about that. But the sound effect sounds correct. So here's what it sounds like, guys.
For eons, there has been a temple guard. When you don the Guardian's mask, you become a link in an unbroken chain. One that represents centuries of honor and duty.
Let's do one more. Right there.
I am Kaloma Ree, captain of the Jedi Temple Guard, and I will defend the Order and the Force with my life.
And that's it for that one. We turn it off. Same deactivation we saw on the other ones. Let's put the lights back on right here and right over here. So that's the Jedi Holocron. And kind of surprised, I was expecting it to give me a more gold-colored cube, not necessarily a green-colored cube like this one here. I thought it might have been a malfunction because this thing was so close to the cube. Maybe it was picking up the wrong lights and sound feature. But when I turned it on, I was hearing the Jedi Temple the voice over for it, and I said, okay, that has to be correct. Just a little bit weird, because when you put this inside the Savi Workshop lightsaber, you get a gold blade. You don't get a green blade, you get a gold blade. So again, very, very cool piece of tech. I highly recommend recommend getting Jedi Holocron if you're looking for something different, something with different flavor to it. Again, it is not cheap. It's $50. You're spending $20 per Kyber crystal, basically. Also, they only have limited stock. When I went there, they didn't have any silver Kyber crystals. I had no blue Kyber crystals. The only reason I have my blue Kyber crystal is because I had it built with my Savi Workshop lightsaber. So Doc Andor's Antiquities is a really, really cool place. I highly recommend going to it just for the ambiance and the atmosphere, for nothing else. If you buy nothing, it's a really different sort of experience just walking through there, seeing all of the really neat things. Of course, the Legacy lightsabers, the holocrons, the Kyber crystals. They have jewelry. They have all sorts of stuff on the walls. They have weaponry mounted to the walls, sabers mounted to the walls. Of course, the lightsabers are in a big case in front of you, so it's a really cool experience. I highly, highly recommend it, and I hope you do like this video review. Of course, Doc Andor's Antiquities, Jedi Holocron. Remember to give this video a like at the bottom of the page. Click that all-important subscribe button, picture my face. When you subscribe to the channel, click the bell to be notified of my latest videos. And of course, last but not least, you can click windows over here to watch more of my content. Take care, guys. See you next video, and bye-bye.